You could see that he was receiving the compassion, and that's all he really needed. You could tell he was very distressed, and when he had somebody talking to him saying, "I'm here for you, I'm your mentor."
Good evening, I'm Faiza Amin at Dundas Station. Some tense moments here earlier today when a man in distress jumped onto the tracks, but a TTC employee came to his rescue. Tonight, he's being hailed a hero, not only for what he did, but for how he did it. We want to let you know that a number for a crisis hotline will be at the bottom of the screen throughout the story.
I walked into the station, and there was just like a flash. And then the actual TTC operator's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he ran towards the tracks.
Jeffrey Ribeiro was one of dozens on the subway platform who saw a TTC employee coming to the rescue of a man who had reportedly jumped onto the track. The interaction between both men was captured in photos and videos, with many, including Jeffrey, praising the station collector for how he handled the situation, hugging, comforting, and befriending the man.
Just kept on talking to him, saying, just breathe in, breathe out, look me in the eye. And then he was just like, "Okay, now just say, 'I am strong.'" And then he had everybody on the platform say it with him on one side and the other side, and the entire subway station was saying, "I am strong" with him.
This video captured by Jeffrey appears to show the TTC worker seated on the platform. A man can be seen holding firmly onto him while standing on the track. The employee, who's been with the company for 23 years, was able to de-escalate a tense situation. According to the TTC, a customer entered the gates to Dundas Station and walked immediately onto the northbound tracks around 10:30 this morning. Within minutes, the employee approached him.
My employee was working there at the crash gate. We call it a crash gate position, and he immediately followed the employee and started doing his job and started putting his training into action.
His colleagues also stepped in, cutting the power and suspending subway service in both directions. With the TTC seeing 24 suicides and attempts annually, employees are trained to look for any sign of distress, and standard procedures will see trauma counseling offered to the workers. At what point did he kind of step in and do more than his job requires him to do?
You see that it was a safe situation, so the area was safe, so that's his training. What we recognize here is that he went and stayed with the customer.
The employee stayed with the man until emergency personnel arrived, spending over half an hour with him.
When he came up off the platform and he came towards the TTC worker gave him a nice big hug, and he's like, "Where's your cell phone? Let me put my number in it."
Social media posts have been pouring in, with those who witnessed the moment calling for the employee to get recognition.
People like this need to be recognized, and the TTC needs to recognize him for what he did.
I forget, what's your name?
Now, TTC tells me following this incident, the employee went right back to work, finishing up his shift.